From a pale, emaciated creature with glowing eyes perched on a roof in the middle of nowhere to a demonic creature lurking in someone's backyard, these are unexplained creatures caught on camera scientists cannot explain. What do you do if you saw this thing glaring down at you from an old abandoned building? Two guys were out urban exploring one night when they came across an old rundown building, probably the place they were going to check out. They weren't expecting to find anyone, as the area they were in was pretty desolate, and they didn't come across anyone. Instead, they came across something much worse. Something pops up from the roof, startling the men before leaping to the other side of the roof and perching there, staring down at them. Understandably, the men turn around and run off. The creature looks like your quintessential Rake. It's thin, pale, and hairless with glowing eyes. What are your thoughts on this one, though? Let me know down in the comments. This footage here was uploaded to YouTube by Voyager Overland, who'd been out camping back in October when they spotted this. Some sort of weird semi-translucent figure seems to be lurking around their campsite. In the description, the uploader wrote, "On a recent overlanding trip to Ruby Falls and the Alberta Rockies, we captured some late night footage that is beyond explanation. I have no idea what it was, but it was lurking around our Jeeps during the night. I'm just glad the grandkids did not see this. I don't know if I can ever camp again after seeing this footage that I kept as proof of the unexplained." This video sticks out on the Voyager Overland channel because their videos don't have anything to do with supernatural generally. They just post camping videos, so it's not like they go out seeking paranormal stuff or creating hoaxes for clicks. From the looks of it, they were just capturing some footage for a regular video, and this thing popped up. If I had to use one word to describe this next video, it would be tense. So a dude is sitting in his car at night in the wilderness. I guess he accidentally fell asleep because he forgot to roll up the window, and from outside we hear animalistic grunting as something is circling around his car, and then we see this. Some commenters say this looks like a mountain lion. I don't know about that. I think at this time of night you'd get a lot more reflection on the eyes, but even if it is a mountain lion, that is still scary. Those yellow eyes. Ugh. Creepy. It's creepy. Next up, we have our first Sasquatch video on the list. You knew I wasn't going to be able to get through a video like this without having Squatch on here. So this video was captured in Idaho. A dude was driving his four-wheeler when he spotted something running out from the bush and across the road. Now, this video is great, and not because of the supposed creature necessarily, although that is cool, but because the cameraman does something I've never seen anyone else do in one of these supposed Bigfoot videos. Yeah, he turns around and he drives off in a hurry, which is what all of us would do in this situation. He doesn't just sit there and keep filming into the trees trying to capture the thing again. He doesn't say like, "Oh, what was that? Oh, that was big." No, his self-preservation instincts kick in and he just hustles out of there. Just makes the video all the more convincing. What you're looking at there is one of the most famous pieces of cryptid footage, believed by some to be a Chupacabra caught on camera. This video was taken on August 8th of 2008 when a police officer named Brandon Rydell in DeWitt County, Texas, filmed something strange running across the road. The creature looks like a hairless coyote with a long snout and big ears, and it's this snout in particular, apparently, that has confused experts because it doesn't quite match anything they're used to seeing in the local area. The video shows the creature darting away from the police car, moving quickly and with a bit of an unusual gait. The footage made the rounds online at the time, and people started connecting it to the famous Chupacabra legend, which is known for killing livestock and draining their BLOOD through small triangular puncture wounds. In the years since, this video has become one of the most talked about pieces of evidence when it comes to the creature. Some have suggested that it's just a weird coyote, maybe with mange or some kind of disease, but again, the long snout and its movements don't quite fit the description of any typical animal in the area. In this next video, we see a dude filming his backyard at night as someone or something is creeping around just in front of his bushes. The thing looks pale and hairless, but not thin and spindly like your typical Rake-like creature. This thing looks bulkier. Kind of reminds me of a hairless chimpanzee or E.T. in some ways because of the long arms and the short legs. In fact, you can't really see legs at all. It's just something you'd never want to encounter anywhere, really, let alone in your own backyard in the middle of the night. I'm not sure where this video was filmed or who the original uploader is, but the man behind the camera is talking on the phone to a friend named Mike, describing what he's seeing. He also says that it's the second time he'd seen it in a week, and that it looked, quote, demonic. In a video uploaded to the YouTube channel Jimmy B Trail Cams, we see something pretty disturbing. Footage shows a large, hairy creature walking across the screen in the woods of Birch Bay, Washington. Now, what makes this video extra interesting is that Jimmy B isn't a Bigfoot hunter. He just seems to have a passion for wildlife. His channel has videos of foxes, wolves, hawks, owls, so this one definitely stands out. The footage isn't crystal clear, but for a Bigfoot sighting, it does show a lot. The creature moves with that distinct Bigfoot walk, its arms hanging at its sides, and a long stride that seems too big for a regular animal, or, of course, a human. It's got that typical heavy gait you hear people describe in Bigfoot encounters. Also interesting, after posting the video, Jimmy B said 4 of his 8 trail cameras went missing the day after. Coincidence? Maybe, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. In terms of still images of Bigfoot type creatures, these ones may be my absolute favorites. There was this show here in Canada called Mystery Hunters back in the day. It was all about cryptids, ghosts, and legends from all over the world. In one episode, these pictures of the skunk ape were shown, and boy did they freak me out when I was a youngster, but I loved it. I kept tuning in to see if this episode would come back just to see these images. The skunk ape is mostly spotted in Florida, though there have been reports in Texas and a couple other states as well. What makes it stand out is the strong, terrible odor that it's said to give off, hence the name skunk ape. A lot of people claim to have seen the skunk ape, and some even have photos that they swear show the creature. One of the most talked about pieces of evidence are, of course, these famous photos here that were snapped in 2000 by a woman on her back porch in Florida, showing what looks like a huge ape-like creature walking through a swamp. Now, some have said this thing looks like an orangutan. I mean, similar in some ways, sure, but in general, no. If this is a costume as well, it's a pretty solid one. This next video was originally posted to TikTok by Killer Clowns 2022 back in 2023. In the clip, a group of guys are driving down a quiet road late at night using flashlights to try and spot a buck that one of them thinks he saw earlier. Now, as they're scanning the area, one of them spots something in the distance, thinking it might be the animal, but when they shine their light on it, whatever it is doesn't look like a buck at all. Instead, they see a pale, slender figure that looks too human to be an animal, but not quite normal enough to be human. Suddenly, the creature lets out a terrifying screech before it starts rushing straight toward the camera. And finally, we have a creepy video from TikTok. A couple had been hiking through the woods at night in Ohio when they noticed a pair of eyes peeking out at them from the tree line. At first, they thought it might just be a deer, but as they kept watching, they realized something wasn't quite right about this thing. The way the eyes were moving and the fact that deer usually are the ones running off, not tailing people, made them start to feel uneasy. It seemed like whatever this thing was, it was following them. The creature never fully shows itself, it's always in the shadows, but some commenters pointed out that the creature's movements are similar to a big cat. Some people also jokingly commented that it could be the Ohio grassman or dogman. Whether it is a cryptid or a predatory animal, though, it would have been terrifying to be in this situation, and in the end, the couple decided to stop filming and just get out of there. With all that said, I've been your host, James, and I'll catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next video.